Do you know what's spooky to me? VMAX Pokemon. So I put all of the Psychic ones in one deck. Hopefully you enjoy it. That's right, this deck has every single Psychic VMAX in the game. Unfortunately, we won't be attacking with any of them. Our main attacker in this deck is going to be Gourgeist. Its attack, Pandemonium, says that we look at the top 6 cards in our deck and then count up the number of Psychic Pokemon that are revealed in those 6 cards. For every single Psychic Pokemon that we have, we deal 60 damage, we shuffle those back into the deck, and then discard anything that isn't a Pokemon. This Pandemonium attack can reach some very, very high numbers if every single Pokemon is a Psychic Pokemon that we can take knockouts on VMAXs, which is really, really good. The only basics that we have in the deck are Pumpkaboo with Pumpkin Pit, and we also have 4 copies of Mysterious Tail Mew from Celebrations. Apart from that, all of our other Pokemon are stage 1s, which means we do not risk starting any of them. Like this Gardevoir VMAX, we can never get it into play. The only reason it exists is so that we can get some damage done with Pandemonium. Now, obviously, we could use other Pokemon if we wanted to. We could play basics, but I think it's way more fun to have all of these VMAXs in there and use our Sppoky Gourgeist as the main attacker. Now, the attack cost for Pandemonium is relatively easy to meet. We can use Twin Energy, which is super, super convenient, but considering the fact that we're going to be discarding all of the cards that aren't Pokemon, we sometimes might find ourselves losing those double colorless energies. So we do have 4 copies of basic Psychic, which we can not only search out with Fog Crystal, but we can also attach with one of 4 copies of Raihan, so it doesn't necessarily matter if we do discard energy early. Unfortunately though, there is a lot of luck in this deck. If you get some good starts with Pandemonium, you can win some big games, but honestly, as long as we're having fun with this one, I think we're going to have a good time. Let's get started. We'll see if we can't get this Gourgeist deck to work. Obviously, spooky, Halloween, ooh, pumpkins. I think I'm going to need to market it, though, as a multiple VMAX deck. Seems better. Let's play all these cards down. We'll grab ourselves another Pumpkaboo here, I think. And then we can Mysterious Tail and grab ourselves an item card. Air Balloon seems pretty good. We can grab that, throw that onto the active, I think. Well, we might, no, we should put it there. And that way we can just end our turn with a pretty solid hand, frankly. This is fine. We've got 3 Marnies, which is great. We've at least got a supporter for next turn. The problem with this is that we're not necessarily going to draw into another supporter, because half of them are in our hands. So, it's a bit of an issue. Also, maybe this deck doesn't need money. I think it's fine. This is fine. Okay, don't worry. Just ignore me. Ignore me. We're going to just keep plugging along here. Our opponent does not have a great start here. They are looking at an Intrepid Sword. So we're going to be able to get cracking. Let's use one of these Marnies, throw those cards onto the bottom of the deck, and then see what we come upon. Evo Incense is very good. I'm happy with that. And we can also use Mysterious Tail with Mew to see if we can get some more cards done here. Now we've got a ton of Psychic Pokemon in the deck, so I'm happy with that. We'll throw the Gourgeist into play. And then it just comes down to trying to thin out as many cards as possible. I think it's better to Mysterious Tail first. We'll grab the Fog Crystal, I think. We can use that if we want to. Well, firstly, we'll use the Pokégear, grab them all, the Marnie. Beautiful. And then we can use Fog Crystal to grab out a card in a second. I think we grab an energy, to be honest, because we want to try and keep the Pumpkaboos in the deck. Almost, it's very strange, but I think that's the way to go. Let's Pandemonium. There are 3 Psychic Pokemon there, so that will do 180 damage. Would have been nice if we had been able to get an extra Pokemon, so that we could have gotten a knockout, but that's okay. And we also removed 2 Psychic Energies from the deck, so our Raihans are going to be very important, it seems, in this game. So, any chance of our Gourgeist being knocked out this turn? It's pretty slim, to be honest. Pretty unlikely that Gourgeist gets knocked out. Our opponent doesn't quite have the setup that they would like. They've got 1 energy on a Zacian, but that's about to get knocked out next turn. They probably can't attack with Duraludon. They've got no cards in their hand now, so it's definitely looking good for us. It looks like they're just going to use Crystal Cave and then Intrepid Sword, I'd say. There's not much else really to do, which is going to give us a really, really good shot at trying to win this game. Now, unfortunately, the Crystal Cave means that we need to hit 2 Pokemon off of the Pandemonium instead of just 1. But you know what? That's okay. It's not the end of the world. Now, do we Marnie here? Our opponent only has 2 cards in hand. This is another reason why maybe Marnie isn't a good choice. I also don't like the idea that we're putting Psychic Pokemon on the bottom of the deck. Maybe it's better to play something that shuffles into the deck instead of Marnie. I don't know. We might try that in the next one. Do we even attach this energy? I don't know. I think we just Pandemonium. Let's just attack. We only get 2, so we only managed to get 2 Pokemon there. It's enough. But jeez, it was tough. It was a tough situation, that one. We've got Evo Incense, which is good. We're going to need that, and another Calyrex, which we obviously don't need to play. We can never get it into play. I think I'm going to need to market this one less around Halloween, which is initially why I decided to play the deck. Right, spooky, right? It's a spooky pumpkin. Woo! But I think we're going to need to market it around having all of these VMAXs. I think that's going to be the way to go. Our opponent has Marnied us, which is not ideal, but we have found Professor's Research, so we do have an opportunity to draw some cards. We're going to lose the Gardevoir and the Dragapult, but that's not the end of the world. And to be fair, our opponent hasn't gotten out of the active yet. I was about to say, yeah, they haven't gotten out. Okay, so we have a chance here to take another knockout. I'm going to research and draw some more cards. I'd love to get another Pumpkaboo, which we've done. Not only do we get to play with Pumpkaboos in this deck, but we can also use them to discard stadiums, which is super, super cool. And I will grab a energy with the Fog Crystal as well. Looks pretty good. We'll attach down there. And then we can, I think we just Pandemonium. We've gotten 2. It's always a big gamble with this deck. We've gotten 2, and we discard a bunch of cards, but we've taken a prize, which is fantastic. And because of the Psychic Energy on Pumpkaboo on the bench, we can potentially attack into a Duraludon VMAX if one comes into play. And it looks like that is what our opponent is going to be doing. So, obviously, Duraludon VMAX has an ability that means that no Pokemon with special energy can attack into it. Or at least I believe that's the, yeah, just popped up. Yes, so this ability will stop us from attacking into it with Pokemon that have special energy attached. But you know what? We don't even care. We just want to get 6 Pokemon off of a Gourgeist's attack. And we have the potential to do it. Of course, that is assuming that our opponent knocks us out here, which they are not guaranteed to do. I will say that much. There's the research, so you'd think that they'd be able to get into their fighting energy here. Then we can start rolling the dice. Hopefully we can get ourselves an attack with our Gourgeist. But we'll have to wait and see. Looks like they've got a whole bunch of energy on a Zacian. They're just going to switch into the Zacian. Okay, that's fine. That is A-okay by me. That means that we can use Raihan to power up the benched Pumpkaboo, but we can also attack with the one that has special energy. So I'm happy with that. We'll promote that one. Thank you very much for telling me that I have a good deck, by the way. I appreciate that. Let's Evo Incense. We'll grab the Gourgeist out. There's a ton of cards left in the deck, and I think I'm going to need to grab one of those with Raihan, to be honest. Because we want to leave all those Pokemon in the deck. We'll put the Gourgeist in the active. And then we can Raihan. We'll put an energy on the... we put an energy on the Pumpkaboo. I'm just trying to think. What's I think this is fine. I think we need to go and grab like another Raihan or something. I don't know. This feels very awkward. I feel like I'm gonna need a different card. Raihan seems fine. Raihan seems fine, because then we can search for whatever we need next turn. So we'll do that, then we'll Pandemonium, and hopefully we hit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Okay, so we take the knockout. Looking good. And remember, every turn that we take knockouts, our opponent is more likely to be KO'd by us, because we remove cards that aren't Pokemon from the deck. So that's really, really good. Our opponent has promoted Zacian. So they obviously don't have a fighting energy yet. This is looking pretty good for us. If they attack with Brave Blade here, we have a real solid shot of winning this game. There's an attachment and a Marnie. Okay, so that's not quite as good. That'll put all of these basic Pokemon to the bottom, Psychic Pokemon, sorry, to the bottom of the deck, which is really quite frustrating. And we also don't have a Gourgeist. I can barely talk. We do not have a Gourgeist. So we are going to need to do a pretty solid job of grabbing a supporter with this Pokégear here. There's almost no other option for us. So we'll wait and see. I'm gonna promote. I could promote the Mew, but then we just need another switch or something like that. So there's no point really promoting Mew here. I think Pumpkaboo is the right choice. And yeah, we just need to get lucky. Give us a Pokégear for a supporter. Research, that'll do. I can live with a research. Now, our deck is mostly, I will say this, mostly Pokemon at this point. So hopefully we come across the right one. We've gotten a Gourgeist, so that's good. And we can use Ordinary Rod to put some more Pokemon back. Oh, they didn't even let me attack. They didn't let me attack. I was so likely to win that, though, so I think I can live with that. Ooh, spooky second game. I've made some changes. The first game, I talked a little bit about how I didn't like the shuffle of the Marnie. Sorry, I'm just distracted by what I'm doing here. Let's grab another Pumpkaboo. What does our opponent have in the active here? What's a Chimecho doing in the field? That Evo Incense is good. But yeah, so I've decided to replace that with a copy or two of Bruno. So now instead of shuffling our hand and putting it on the bottom of the deck and drawing cards, which is not good, we put them in the deck and then draw more cards, which is better for us. So I think that's a good change. I also decided to put in my full arts. We are playing up against Groudon. Okay, so Groudon was a deck that I could not make work. I desperately tried to get it to work, but I couldn't get it to work. Here's this Chimecho. That's a very interesting choice. They're going to research here. Fair enough. And, okay, so this is going to be a really interesting game. I don't know how this is going to go because Groudon never worked for me. But then again, I never used Chimecho or Galarian Zapdos, so hey, I don't know. These things are beyond me. Okay, double Evo Incense. We can grab our Gourgeists here, which is very good, and get a couple of them into play early. Unfortunately, we are going to lose an Ordinary Rod, which I'm not a massive fan of, but we're researching, it's fine. Let's go get ourselves some cards. We missed energy. Of course we did. Why would we ever get what we want? Oh my goodness, Mysterious Tail. Oh, we've got both of them. Look at these. These are the two cards that I need. Air Balloon and Fog Crystal. It would have been great if you had given me one of those before. Alright, we'll use the Fog Crystal. I guess we'll use the Fog Crystal. I guess we'll use the energy. Ugh, and we attach to the Gourgeist. And then pass the turn. That's pretty much all that we can do. Sometimes PTCGO just likes to throw those kind of ironic draws in my face. They're like, oh, you were looking for an energy and a way to get your Mew out of the active? Well, here's both of those cards. You can pick one of them. Alrighty, so now, this Groudon deck obviously revolves around B, which is very interesting. Also, Zapdos as well. It makes me wonder, do they play things like Energy Switch? Potentially, they could. That seems reasonable. I mean, once you've got a couple of Zapdos in play, though, you'd need all 4 energy switches to get them onto the Groudon. So, we'll wait and see. Here comes the B, though. Oh, there was a couple there. Okay, so that's pretty solid. And they are going to retreat and attack with Massive Rend. Well, okay. This is going to be interesting. I think we need 3 or we might even need 4 Pokemon to knock this Groudon out. I don't really want to talk about the maths. Let's not think about the mathematics. We'll grab the Gourgeist out of the deck, though, and we'll play that down, and then we can attach a Twin Energy if we would like. No access to a supporter that we'd prefer, like Bruno. And now we've got it, and we've got a ton of Pokemon in our hand as well. Let's Pandemonium! We get 1, 2. We don't get the knockout. Come on, deck, do me a favor. Do me a favor there. Oh my gosh. Okay. So they need to Magma Volcano to knock me out. They can't use Massive Rend, because Massive Rend will do 120 minus 30. Oh my god! How many energy was that? Was that 5? What is that off of the top? That B was insane! And the Magma Volcano, oh my, I mean, I shouldn't expect anything less. This deck probably has a trillion fighting energy in it. But hey, okay, we are still going here. Now this is where the Bruno is going to come in nice and clutch, because we've got all these Pokemon in our hand. Now they're in the deck, right? So we could potentially draw into them, which I would very much prefer to do. Let's Ordinary Rod. We will throw in some Pokemon. I want the Pumpkaboo and the Gourgeist back in the deck. We don't need the energy. We can use Raihan to get those. Let's also do some thinning. Grab the research out. And then let's Pandemonium. Can we get 3 Pokemon this time? This time we get 5. Oh, that's plenty to knock out a Groudon. 240 damage. Would have been 300. Would have been 300 if not for the stone fighting energy. Now listen, we are in a bit of strife here. Massive Rend does not knock me out. I was about to say, if they Magma Volcano, we could be in trouble, but that's okay. They didn't. Let's Fog Crystal for a Pumpkaboo. We'll throw that down. Let's throw down the energy as well. And then we Pandemonium. And we get, what, 4? Bang! Massive knockout. This is what this pumpkin is supposed to do. The pumpkin is here, and he's taking names. Taking these big knockouts on these Groudons. Now, I definitely get knocked out this turn. And it looks like they're going to knock me out with Zapdos. Zapdos. Zapper Kick takes the KO. This is a very fast-paced last game here. We're going to throw the Gourgeist into the active. Then we are... Oh, Raihan. We could play that if we want to. I think Gourgeist going onto the... into play is probably not a bad idea. I will play the Evo Incense just to take a look. Okay, so there is a Pumpkaboo in the deck. There's also a Bruno and an Air Balloon. So, what I might do... Let's just Pandemonium. We'll just take the knockout here. There goes Bruno. Oh my god, we just lost the 2 cards. We just lost the 2 cards that weren't Pokemon in our deck. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I should have Raihan'd onto something to get the other Gourgeist. But you know what? It wouldn't have mattered, because then I wouldn't have been able to attach an energy. So, I guess we've just got to wait and see. On the plus side, Zapdos cannot attack into us multiple times and expect to get a knockout. So, this is good. We've got 7 cards. Pandemonium takes the knockout. It's 720. 720 damage? Excuse me? Whew. Well, I mean, that's 6 Pokemon times 6 times 2, right? So, massive damage. And the best part here is, even though this Groudon will knock us out, we just promote our last Gourgeist and we win the game here. Now, I think our opponent failing to use Magma Volcano will cost them the game. So, that is really, really big for us. We have 6 cards left in the deck. We know for a fact that we are going to get all Pokemon, so let's take a look and see what those cards are. Oh, so beautiful. We'll retreat into our Gourgeist, and then Pandemonium, we deal 360 damage to our opponent's final attacker. We haven't won the game yet, but we've effectively won it. I mean, there's no way for our opponent to come back from here. That's 2 turns in a row of maximum damage. Maximum Pandemonium from our Gourgeist, which I am frankly very, very happy with. This deck has done the job incredibly well. Very, very happy. Looks like our opponent is all out of juice. Pandemonium. This time we can only look at 5. Only 300 damage, which goes to 600 because of weakness. How disappointing. But hey, massive victory there from Gourgeist. Whew. I tell you what. So you've seen the deck in action, but how good is this thing really? Well, ultimately, cost-wise, I'm giving this one an A. Like, you don't need all Psychic VMAXs. I just wanted to do it because I thought it looked fun. But you can use any Psychic Pokemon you like, which means you've got a use for some of those bulk Psychic Pokemon that you've never used before. Cost-wise, it's pretty good. Power-wise, 360 damage is pretty solid, but the problem is its consistency. You are reliant on a lot of things going right to get a win with this deck. Ultimately, I've given it a D for consistency. consistency, it is not usually going to do what it needs to do, but it is still powerful enough to take out some big wins if you do manage to get it across the line. Thank you very much everyone for coming along. As always, I appreciate you stopping by. If you've enjoyed the video, then please leave a like. That would be the most brilliant thing that you could do to support your favorite content creators, as well as leaving a subscription if you'd like to subscribe. That would be brilliant. Become a member, do all those kind of things. Comment down below. What do you think of my hair? Should I get a haircut? I probably should get a haircut. Anyway, I will catch you in the next one. Remember, we got videos Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, as well as some live streams on Friday nights. I will catch you next time for more from the Sableyes. Bye.